Welcome to Conversations with the ERC5. My name is Grace Baroni, and today as our guest, we have Eric Gulbrandsen from Northstar Network Group. Eric, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you,
Great
Grace.
to have you here with us today to help simplify IT, if that's possible. Is it?
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay. So where do we begin?
Well, you gave me a list of questions, so
Yes.
I think you did a
You
great
want
job.
to follow them?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, but why don't we start with how did you pick IT as your career path?
Well,
What led you there?
it's a long story, but I actually...
Short version.
The short version.
We only have 15 minutes.
This is back in the 80s. I had to find something to do. I didn't know what to do. I went to school for computers, and it all started in the 80s. And throughout my career, I was a computer operator, systems technologist, programmer, got into sales, then engineering. And with all my skills, it led me to starting my own business, which was always my dream, was to have my own business.
That's fantastic.
All in 10 seconds.
So living the dream, I love it. And I know it's not on my question, so don't get upset with me. But when we've connected, you do always make it easy for me to understand, because IT is not something that, I like. I just want you to make it work so I can do all the stuff I need to do on it. But I don't really want to know how it all happens. But when you explain things to me, you make it really simple, and then I can connect the pieces, which gives me a better understanding of why I need to do the things that we do. Like, why is IT so important? And what happens if something gets compromised?
Well, two things could be happening. It could be data got destroyed. So if we have decent backup, we restore it. So number one, backup all your data. That's number one.
All right. So how do you back up your data?
Well, I have a very good backup system. It's an agentless backup. Mine is from a company called Asigra. So I have my own vault, replicated vault. I have an appliance out on site, and I'm backing up data sets with retention, dedupe data, which means it's compressed, it's encrypted, military-grade encryption, and I'm able to back up every day, full backups. And if I have backups, say, for 2 years, I can go back. You say, Grace or Eric, I need something recovered from April 24th of last year, and I say, okay, you got it. I can go right to that date and recover it in seconds. So that's a good backup system.
That's a good thing, because then it's never really lost.
It's never really lost. Right.
Okay, because that's scary. Because I always worry about that. Like,
you should.
I get upset and I click too many buttons, and what if I erase everything? And now I have nothing. How do I get it back? Besides getting on the phone and saying, Eric, help.
Help, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to protect our website.
I don't protect websites.
You don't protect websites.
Web developers do that.
Okay.
I protect you from bad websites.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have to tell you that, like, when I get emails now, I'm worried that everything, if it's not someone I know, or if it's someone I know but an unusual question, I get really panic stricken. I'm like, oh my gosh, is it real? Or is this coming from a bad location? And I have learned from you that if they ask you to go to a certain website or something, that's kind of a flag.
You should be scared, and there's good reason.
I'm always scared.
It's a good thing to follow for emails, because that's how you can mainly
Bring
get compromised. Yeah, I mean, that's a vulnerability for anyone, is email. And use the SLAM method, and I wrote that in one of my articles for
the ERC5.
The ERC. So SLAM is look at the sender. Do you know the sender? Is the email spelled correctly? It could be off by one letter. That's bad. So the links, look at the links they're sending you. You can hover over it. Attachments. What do you have for attachments? And the message. Is the message clear? Is it in broken English? Is it just like, I used to get emails from my daughter from a Gmail years ago, and it said, Eric, I'm like, No, my daughter does not say, "Hey, Eric," you know. So that's part of the message. So if you kind of look at that and use your common sense, and if it looks bad, question it. I get customers, we protect their email, but I'll get customers that send me an email, say, "Eric, is this good?" And I'll look at it, say, "No, that's a bad." And I'll reply, "Tell me why it's bad." And then they'll say, "Well, the name was spelled wrong." Yes, exactly. So good. So I try to help that way.
Those are like, you give us good tips like that.
I try.
So you know. Now, not that, I'm really good at this stuff, but when I notice the spelling, or like you said, maybe someone who always, hey, or writes, "Hi, Grace," or "Dear Grace," and all of a sudden it says, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like, wow, that's not usually the language that this person uses. So then I don't even try to click it. I just get that little blurb, and it's like, is this bad? Did they just quickly send it off? And it's like, it's better to be safe, right?
Absolutely. And with the new thing lately, it's been around a while, AI. So AI, they're getting better. So any language that they have, they're making it sound so smooth. They used to be the message was like, this message makes no sense. But with AI, you got the bad guys just developing really, really tricky email messages to try to either catch you, and so that's called phishing, and spear phishing. So that's when spear phishing is when they say, "Oh, Grace, we went to high school together," And you're like, yeah, okay. And who was your first grade teacher? "Oh, it was so and so." Like, when they have all this information and now they're talking to you about it, or they might use it for passwords, that's spear phishing, where they're getting really personal with you, and they got your attention. Right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So now it's like you're teaching me how I can spot things, and these guys are out there, and now they're working on upgrading their game so they can still try to trick me.
Remember Groundhog Day?
I'm just kind of really giving up on this.
Remember the movie Groundhog Day?
Yes.
When he's trying to pick up that, Bill Murray's trying to pick up that girl, and he goes, "Hey, did you go to Lincoln High School?" And the next day, "Was your teacher so-and-so?"
Yeah.
And then that one day, "Hey, weren't we in school together?" She's like, "Yeah." "Lincoln High School?" "Yeah." "You're Nancy Tail?" "Yeah." And then she fell for it because they didn't.
And that's what they're doing.
And that's kind of like the spear fishing, where they're getting to know you.
I like the analogy.
They're getting to know you. Yeah.
Yeah. See,
right.
I didn't. There you go. Now you put it all together for me.
Boy, we're really skipping around it, but I like this.
Yeah.
I like this
better. Well, because, we're just talking, and, I'm thinking of some of the things that have come up, and this is just a guideline for us, but
right.
I like the way you explain things.
Thank you.
It just makes it easier for me, versus when you throw out a lot of jargon. And I don't think it's just me. I think it's all of us.
I got a quiz for you. I got an IT quiz for you.
Okay.
Okay. So in the internet world, when you want to go to a website,
yes,
in the simplest terms, what is DNS?
Oh my gosh, it's the yellow pages
it's
for
the
everything.
Phone book.
It's
yes.
the phone book.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Good job.
See,
Good job.
there are some things I remember. I'll remember that versus if you had given me a real, technical explanation on it. It would have gone right over my head, and I wouldn't have learned, a lesson, a valuable lesson there.
Well, that's how I like to learn too. If you know it, you can use analogies. And,
there you go.
Yeah.
So, speaking about lessons learned, it sounds to me like you always have to be learning in this industry. Like you have to know all the changes that are coming, and then you got to be one up so that you can take care of those people who are out there spearfishing and all of that other stuff.
That is correct. And, one of your questions in here, you said, what's some of the misconceptions?
Yes.
And some of the, I don't know if it's a misconception, but some of the alarms is people being complacent. So if I go talk to someone, especially a business owner or exec, and say, you should really have all your employees be on a training schedule, and they're like, no, we kind of can do it on our own. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
And well, they'll say, well, why? Well, why? And then you explain, and then they'll say, I don't care. That doesn't matter. And then there's that one day, boom, they get hit. And these are real life situations.
Right.
They get hit, and then they'll say, Eric, how'd this happen? I'll say, I said, I know exactly how it happened. I know who opened an email, who clicked the link, and they were getting keystrokes. They're watching their keystrokes. They got your credentials, and they were able to just get the keys to the castle, and that's how it happened. And it didn't have to happen that way.
Yeah,
So
but it did.
It did.
It did.
It did. And
we learn our lessons after the fact.
You right?
Most of the time, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I've learned a lot of lessons.
See? All right. So, because we only have a limited amount of time, let's say for our viewers at home, if you had to give them like 3 top things that you should do to make sure that your emails are safe, that you're not, that you're protected. What are the top 3 best practices that myself and everyone else out there can put into play as we go into the new year?
I'd say, number 1, stay educated and don't fall for things. Don't fall for things. Learn what the bad guys are doing and how they're trying to catch you. I mean, you hear the phone scams, right? They're just saying they're getting your voice, and they're reproducing your voice and coming up with voicemails. So just be wary of that, and always verify if someone's saying they want you to transfer funds or wire funds, or I changed my bank, or it's common sense, but people still fall for it, and they wire money. So that's one, is be very, very cautious of anything.
Educated.
Yeah, educated.
That's where we call you in to educate us, though.
Gladly.
And be careful.
Be careful. Back up, because if your data, you got to protect your data. I know your first question was, what is cybersecurity? And that is protecting your digital assets. So you want to back up your data. So I'd say education, if you say the top 3, backup, and best practices. So there's a lot of best practices. I know it's very vague, but there are like password policies. Don't use the same password for all your accounts in the dark web. If you get, I can go out and search anyone's email and see if they've been compromised and find out passwords. I can do it. I have the tools to do it. I'm a good guy. I'm not going to do anything bad with it. But the bad guys will get your password, say, Grace, I got your password. It's so-and-so, so-and-so, right on the subject line. And you're saying, oh, my God, you got my attention. What's going on? And then they want you to act quickly, very quickly.
Okay.
And
all right.
So I hope that helped for you, the top 3. I don't know if it was 3 or not, but that's a good start.
I like them. That's a good start. And because our time is up.
Okay.
If our viewers at home, though, want more than top 3 steps, and they want to know, Eric, how can you help me? How can you back me up? How can you protect me? What is the best way for them to get in touch with you?
If you went to my website and got my phone number and call us,
yes,
or send me an email, or if I can get you my cell phone number somehow, I would just talk to you for free for a few minutes to say, what do you have in place? What are you looking for? Can I help you? If I can, great. If I can't, if you already have someone, and you're unsure, but that's the best way to call. No pressure.
Best way for them to connect with you.
Best way to connect, yeah.
All right. Eric, thank you so much for joining us.
Grace, thanks for having me.
Greatly appreciate it. And I encourage our viewers to give you a call because IT isn't going away.
Not going away.
Keeps growing, and it's more and more important that we educate ourselves.
You did a great job, Grace.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us,
Thank you.
Eric.
Thanks.
And thank you for tuning in for this episode. If you would like to be the next guest at Conversations with the ERC5 here at Stonegate Studios in Wilbraham, go to our website, erc5.com, and you may sign up there.